Nation, I'm Jordan, and in today's Shoe Care Academy episode, I'm going to be showing you how to clean 3 different white sneakers. But before we get into that, if you guys are new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button. We launch new videos every Monday and every Thursday showing you how to restore shoes, customize shoes, and clean just about every single sneaker that we know. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button if you like today's video and leave a comment to let us know what you want us to clean next. As I mentioned, we are going to be cleaning 3 white sneakers in this video. We're going to start off with these canvas white Vans, these Nike Blazers that have leather and suede, and these Yeezy 350 bones that are mesh. We're going to be using the Reshoevn8r Signature Bundle that you can pick up at Reshoevn8r.com and use my link in the description to save 10% off. So without further ado, let's get into this cleaning. Before we start, we're only going to be cleaning 1 sneaker for before and after purposes, so we're going to be setting the left shoe aside for all 3 of these. Now that we got those other shoes out of the way, let's go over what comes in our Signature Cleaning Bundle. So our Signature Bundle comes with our flagship product, the Signature Kit, as well as a cleaning mat, laundry pods, drying rack and bowl combo, and sneaker wipes. We do also have our dry suede kit here to take care of the suede on the Nike Blazers. But overall, this is the best kit on our website. It gives you everything that you need in case you want to do a quick clean or a deep clean. We are using this kit specifically because of these knit and canvas materials. Plus this Blazer's just honestly beat. But we're going to be starting with the canvas Vans. So let's get these 2 sneakers out of the way. Well, that was easy. Now that our cleaning station is all set up, we're going to go to the first step and remove the laces on these Vans. The laces are removed. For the next step of this cleaning, we are going to be adjusting our adjustable shoe tree to the correct size. Now these are my personal pairs, so they are a size 10 in women's. So it's going to be about the 5th hole. Just kidding, it's the 7th. The shoe tree is inserted, so now we are just going to be squirting 2 squirts of solution into our bowl of water. For tough canvas materials, we do typically depend super heavy on the laundry system, and while these will go in the washing machine, we are going to be doing the pre-treatment to break down all of that dirt. So we're going to be starting with our soft bristle brush. It's the softest brush in our arsenal, and it makes the shoes nice and bubbly. All that I can do with the soft bristle brush. So I'm going to go ahead and set this aside and then grab our microfiber towel to wipe down all of these suds. Got the suds all wiped off. Now I am noticing some deeper staining on the canvas material, as well as it looks really dingy. It is wet, so once we put it in the washing machine and it dries, it'll really flush out all of that material. But I'm going to be moving on to our medium bristle brush. Still going to be using it on the deeper staining on the canvas. The medium brush is soft enough that it will not cause damage to this material. Then once we're done with that, we're going to move on to these midsoles using the same brush. Bristle brush on the deeper staining and that midsole. So let's wipe it down to see how this shoe is looking. Got the shoe all wiped down. The midsole is looking really good. Now there is still deep stains on this canvas material, but I'm not too worried about it because our laundry system will be flushing out all of this material, which is the main reason that we picked our Signature Bundle. But before we throw these in the washing machine, we're going to be taking care of this outsole using our stiff bristle brush. Before I start scrubbing with our stiff bristle brush, I am noticing that there is some gunk stuck in the holes of these shoes. So I'm going to be using this ice pick that we have here to pick that out, and then we'll scrub the sneaker. Now that we got all of that removed, let's go ahead and finish this outsole using our stiff bristle brush. The outsole is all cleaned up and wiped off. Now we do get a lot of comments asking why we don't clean the outsole first, but the outsole is the dirtiest part of your sneaker, so by cleaning it first, you're just dirtying the water and causing more damage to the uppers because you're just going to get them more dirty than clean. So now that this entire shoe is scrubbed down and the pre-treatment is completed, we're just going to be adding them to our sneaker laundry bag, and they'll go in the washing machine on normal cycle with cold water. The shoes are in the bag. Now for the last step of this pre-treatment, we're just going to be cleaning these laces. I normally leave them to set in my bowl of water for the entire cleaning, but I didn't this time just because I knew that the water would get super dirty. So now I'm just going to be dunking them into our bowl of water and then rubbing them between my hands to get them clean. Laces are all cleaned up. Now I'm just going to be inserting them into this little pouch on our sneaker laundry bag. So another pro tip when you're cleaning sneakers in the washing machine, make sure you're leaving the adjustable shoe tree inserted because it'll help hold the shape of your sneaker. Now I'm not going to put these in the washing machine just yet. I'm going to hold on to them until all 3 of these sneakers are clean because they will all be going in the washing machine. Let's set this aside. Before we move on to cleaning these Nike Blazers, I went ahead and set up a new cleaning station with a new cleaning mat, new water, and I rinsed the brushes just so we can start with a clean slate. Now we're just going to be removing the laces before we insert our adjustable shoe tree. Before I put the shoe tree in, I am noticing some debris on the inside of the sneaker, so we're just going to go ahead and dump that out. The shoe tree is inserted. This will allow me to put as much pressure onto this leather toe box, as well as help hold the shape of the sneaker when we're cleaning. Now this is going to be the same steps as the canvas bands using the soft bristle brush, medium bristle brush, and stiff bristle brush, but this does have a suede material on here, and as well as the swoosh is suede. I'm not 100% sure if the swoosh is going to bleed, but we're going to find out together. So let's get to scrubbing the entire uppers using our soft bristle brush. When you're cleaning suede, make sure that you're cleaning the entire shoe evenly and you're patting it dry. You don't want to spot clean suede because once it dries, it can cause watermarking. But for this, we clean the entire shoe, so we shouldn't notice any watermarks. The soft brush did its thing on the uppers. Now, leather is a super easy material to clean, but I'm still going to be putting these in the washing machine just because of this super thick tongue. It's going to need the laundry system to fully flush that out. I also mentioned some worry about bleeding on the black swoosh. We didn't see any of that, so it is perfectly fine to clean these Nike Blazers using solution and brushes. For the next step, we're going to be moving on to the medium bristle brush on this tongue as well as these midsoles. And then we will be hitting this outsole using the stiff bristle brush. Medium brush is done and all wiped off. So far, super happy with these results. Wasn't sure if that red dirt that was stuck in this midsole was going to be cleaning up. There is still a little bit of heel drag and a little bit on the toe box. So we are going to be using the stiff bristle brush on that as well. We're just going to be super careful that we don't hit any of the upper materials and just keep it solely on this rubber material. On these shoes. Now, this probably would have been okay with just the essential cleaning kit, just because it is a leather shoe, but we're still going to put it in the washing machine for the tongue and the stitching. Before we put this in the laundry bag, we're going to be taking care of these grimy laces by dunking them in our bowl of water. All right, let's get this sneaker and the laces into the sneaker laundry bag. Now the shoe is all inserted and the laces are in their little designated pouch. When you're using the laundry bag, make sure you're pulling these super tight so that your shoe doesn't come out. Now we are only cleaning one shoe, but one laundry bag can fit 2 shoes in it. We just don't need it at this time. Let's set this aside, set up another cleaning station, and get to the Yeezy 350s. We finished the first 2 sneakers. Now we're ready to take on the third one, the Yeezy 350 Bone. That was rocked by our graphic designer. Now I did change my cleaning station. Again, I got a new cleaning mat, new water, and a new towel. You don't have to do that every single time you clean a new pair of shoes, but since these shoes are super dirty and white, I chose to. We're not gonna waste any more time explaining that, but I'm going to go ahead and remove these laces and then we'll get to scrubbing. The laces are removed. Before I insert our adjustable shoe tree, I'm going to be removing the insole of this sneaker so that we can give it a deeper clean since there is a little bit of debris in here. We'll put our adjustable shoe tree in without the insole for now, just to hold the shape of the sneaker. We'll clean all the parts of this shoe and then we'll put them all back together and in the laundry bag. Shoe tree is inserted. I'm just going to be adding 2 squirts of solution to our bowl of water, and then we'll get to scrubbing the entire sneaker using our soft bristle brush. Since this is a knit material, I will use the soft bristle brush on the entire uppers, and I won't use any of the other brushes just because it is more delicate, but the laundry system will be this sneaker's best friend because it'll flush out all of that nasty dirt. Soft brush on the entire uppers. Now there is a little bit of deeper staining, specifically right in this mesh area. I could use our medium brush on it, but I'm not going to just because I don't want to fray the material. So we're going to be putting these in the washing machine and it'll flush out all of that unwanted dirt. We might have to put them in the washing machine twice, but we will be checking right after the first wash and after they dry to determine our next steps. But until then, let's hit this midsole using the medium bristle brush. For the next step, we are going to be cleaning this outsole using the stiff bristle brush. However, as you can see, there's a lot of dried up mud stuck in here, so we're going to be using this pick to pick all of that out before we fully scrub the outsole. Now, this pick is a great tool when you're trying to dig out the gunk, mud, gum, whatever it might be that's stuck in the bottom of your sneaker. But for these Yeezys specifically, they have that boost material, kind of feels like styrofoam. So you have to be super careful so that you don't puncture the bottom of your sneaker. We got most of it out. It's going to be flushed out more. Now, this sneaker is clean. It is still looking a little bit dingy. It's just the nature of that mesh knit material. Once we put it in the washing machine, it will be clean. That's why when cleaning knit sneakers, the washing machine is really the only way to provide them with an effective clean. Other than that, you're just pushing the dirt deeper into the material. But shoes done. Now we're just going to be cleaning this insole and these laces to finish up our pre-treatment, and then we will take all 3 of these white sneakers to the laundry room. So on the other 2, you might have noticed that I just rubbed the laces through my hands to get them clean and then threw them in the laundry bag. However, Yeezy laces are a lot more thick. So I'm going to be scrubbing them with the soft bristle brush to just kind of get that deeper staining out. They will still go in the washing machine, but this will give them a deeper clean. We have all 3 sneakers in the sneaker laundry bag. Now you might have noticed that the sneaker cleaning pre-treatment is all the same for these shoes. Now that is our secret formula for cleaning shoes. Sometimes we do go the extra mile when we're cleaning knit or canvas materials or even the tongue on the blazers by throwing them in our patented laundry system to get the deepest clean possible. Now, I mentioned that the Vans are my personal pair of shoes and honestly my go-to white sneaker, but I want to know in the comments, what is your favorite white sneaker and what is one that you rock every day? Let's head to the washing machine. All right, we are in the laundry room. Now we are going to be washing just the first two sneakers on the first cycle, the blazer and the Vans. We don't want to put all three in because we don't want to overcrowd the washing machine. We also don't want to put a ton of detergent in there because the suds can ruin the washing machine. So we're going to start with these two, normal cycle, cold water. Once we remove those, we'll put them on the drying rack and we'll throw the Yeezys in for the same cycle to give it the deepest clean possible. And just one pod. All right, we got the first two sneakers out of the washing machine. They are currently on our drying rack. They will dry overnight. So we're gonna put the Yeezys in the washing machine, normal cycle, cold water with the shoe tree inserted, and we'll allow it to dry and then we'll regroup after all three sneakers are ready. We're back. We went ahead and let the shoes dry overnight and then took a look at them. We did notice some deeper staining in the Yeezy and on these canvas Vans. I mentioned earlier that they might need 2 wash cycles, so we went ahead and put them back in the washing machine one more time, normal cycle, cold water, and allowed them to dry, and these shoes are all looking great. So we're going to be talking about each shoe's cleaning individually, so let's start with these canvas Vans. These canvas Vans did go in the washing machine twice. We did notice some deeper staining. There's some stains over here and on the back. Now, for a white Van, this is actually very clean. White Vans might honestly be one of the hardest shoes to get clean. Sometimes you'll see some yellowing on the materials. There's going to be some trapped in stains that might not just come out. For these, there was a little bit of yellowing, so we did put them in the ice box as well with those UV rays to make them super white. And I am super impressed with how these cleaned up because they were pretty beat. Onto the blazers, these only went through 1 wash cycle. I'm super happy to see that the suede on the swoosh didn't bleed any color and it is still this super buttery texture. The thick tongue did come clean, and then we did notice that the suede on the toe box and on this little gray part right here is still pretty crunchy, so we are going to be resetting the nap using our dry suede kit in just a second. And lastly, onto these Yeezys. These Yeezys did have to go into the wash cycle twice just because the dirt got super trapped in, specifically right here on this material. I am noticing that there is still 1 deep stain that just didn't come out, and that's completely okay, but I do have to say that this is the cleanest Yeezy outsole that I have ever seen. I mean, look at this boost material. It never comes that clean. Now that we covered all 3 shoes, let's reset the nap on these blazers and wrap up today's Shoe Care Academy video. When you're using the dry suede kit, you can use the eraser to erase any unwanted stains, but it'll also be the first step of resetting the nap on this material. The dry suede kit is super beneficial to make your suede super buttery and take care of unwanted stains. When you're using it, you don't have to apply a ton of pressure, and then you bring in the dry suede brush. Just brush in different directions, side to side. Don't apply any pressure, just let the brush do its thing, and your suede will return to that buttery texture. Ta-da! Can't believe it's not butter. Overall, I would say that this Vans comparison is night and day. Now, as I mentioned, they didn't come out perfect, but you can definitely say that this before and after is pretty dramatic. Now, onto these blazers. Now, I would say these cleaned up the best out of the 3. We got that leather back to that super bright white, and that tongue that is a little bit more tricky to clean definitely came back. These look night and day compared to the before. Now, onto these Yeezys. Now, I would say this was the most difficult one to clean. The knit material is just tough. You can risk fraying, the dirt gets super stuck in there, and like I mentioned earlier, this Yeezy outsole is tough. but we got this shoe super clean, and these before and afters are impressive. We went ahead and achieved this result on all 3 of these white sneakers using the Deep Clean Signature Bundle paired with our dry suede kit. You can pick up all of those products and so much more at Reshoevn8r.com and use my link in the description to save 10%. If you liked today's video, hit that thumbs up button. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you guys again soon in the next Shoe Care Academy video.